Holy crap, Cindy. Look at that. How's that? Honest to God. Hey everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to the bush. It's the last day of May and the garden is drier than a popcorn fart, like they say. We have a plan and we're going to water this bad boy. So what I'm going to do is water tank, 45-gallon drum, I guess you'd call it, on the back of the side-by-side here. We are going to back that over in a little bit down and back here to the brook. There's a sump pump hose. I have a submersible sump pump stuck in the brook right now. You can see the hose coming up through here. And this is kind of funny because this hose is so full of holes. It's about a 5-year-old sump pump hose. And we used it last week to fill this barrel up too. And went out and watered the garden. So anyways, it's leaking everywhere. So what I had to do is a bunch of freaking tape on it every place it was leaking, but it's still what I'm going to have to do. We're going to back side by side over here. I'm going to use a bucket and we're going to fill this tank on the back. Then the best part is I'm going to build myself a hillbilly water system that we're going to have pressurized water off of this thing, and we're going to go out there and water the garden with a hose out front later on once it cools down. Show you how I'm going to do it here in a minute if you want to stay tuned. And basically my plan, here's a mad scientist, is check this out, bad boy. This is the old pump out of the cabin. What happened on this pump? This is only a year old. This is your pressure switch right on the end here. They're supposed to automatically kick it out when it comes up to pressure, and it's adjustable pressure switch. What happened to the pressure switch, and this thing literally a week out of warranty. It's only a year old, but anyway, they wouldn't help me out. Amazon purchase. The pressure switch started failing. So what was happening, we'd come in here and I'd turn on the water, and then the pump, it would pump up, and then you could hear it keep running. It wouldn't shut off. So it's going to eventually kill your battery. So we had to manually turn the switch on and off every time we wanted to use water. So what I'm going to do anyway, make a long story short, this pump, we're going to power it up and 12 volt, and we're going to pump the water. I'm going to hook a garden hose right here, an old garden hose I have. We're going to hook that onto the pump, onto this tank, and we're going to go out and water the garden later. I think it'll work. Who knows? Let's check it out. And you can see these are beautiful pumpkins that Cindy brought she started these guys some seeds. So we're going to take them out later, out front to the garden, and they got to go in too. But then we got to give everything a dousing of water because we planted last week. We put peppers out there. We put beans out there. There's Brussels sprouts that have been out there a while, and again, we just have to give it a good soaking later on tonight, so hang around. We're just having a bit of leftovers for dinner in here. Nice to have you guys back. All we're doing for supper is, this is roast beef we made the other day. Cindy has it sliced up with a bit of, I don't know what you call it, juice or whatever from the beef that it's marinating in right now. Potatoes and some mixed veggies. So nothing fancy tonight for supper, nothing fancy. It's only Friday night, we just got here, so. There you go, nothing too fancy tonight, but it's going to be tasty. Actually, leftover roast beef in beef broth is actually what it's in, I guess. Some mashed potatoes and some carrots on the side. Going to sit down and have our dinner now. Supper's over. It is time to pump water out of the brook. Up to there, up into the tank. You guys got to see this to believe it. Look how low the brook is. Hardly any water here at all. You can actually see the water rippling here. There's little tiny fish in this little pond here. You know what? Not that tiny. Geez, you can actually see them. They're probably 3 or 4 inch. See the water rippling? Anyways, submersible pump. It's kind of cool, actually, those little fish. Hope I don't suck one into the pump. Anyway, I got a submersible pump here in the brook. You guys can see the hose going down. And the pump is right down in here, sitting in the water. And that's pretty cool. There's some fish, though. There's a little bit of size of them. They're still just minnows, though. They're chub, I think. Anyway, guess what I'm going to run this pump off of? This is a 110 volt pump. Well, I got a new toy here, and anybody that watches the channel, I'm getting quite a collection of these things. But anyway, check this out. This is called Vitomin. This is a Vitomin Flash Speed 1000. It's 1,000 watts. 2,000 watt surge, 828 watt hour battery. We're going to turn the AC on. You see this? There we go. Here's the plug. We're going to plug this in. Well, we're going to get this thing running, this sump pump, and here's the funny part. This hose is full of holes everywhere, so it is going to leak like crazy. Well, let's check this out. We're going to plug it in here and watch this. There she goes. Pump is pumping. Oh, there's the first leak. Look at this. Anyway, oh, here's another one up here. This is quite a sump pump hose, but we will still get enough water to this. We are determined enough that what we have to do is, if we try to pump the water right up into the barrel here, it's lifting it too much, so the hose leaks too much. So we're doing it this way. This is the hard way. We're filling these, and see how fast that's pumping out of there right now? That's pretty freaking quick, right? Running it off the Vito Minute Flash Speed 1000 power station. Look at the holes in the hose. There we go. We're going for tank number 2, bucket number 2. Alrighty. So what my goal is, if we had a better sump pump hose, I wouldn't have to do this. But this is only going to take a couple minutes anyway to fill it up this way. Okay. We did this last weekend. And the thing is, what we did to empty it is we used watering cans, because there's a tap on this barrel here. But we don't use watering cans this week. We're going to have a pressurized hillbilly water system, so it is going to work awesome. I know it is. Well, she just watered my feet on that one. Payback might suck. So anyways, it's not going to take that many buckets to do this. We're going to have it done fairly quick. Cindy's on a rush here. Uh-oh. Good thing it's warm out. But it's not going to take long. We're going to fill this bad boy up. It's already up to like here somewhere. Anyways. Alright. Oh yeah, that's almost over full right now. Isn't that awesome? Okay. Yeah, this is crazy. Look how bad the hose is here. Look at it leaking. She's squirting out here. But I taped a lot of it up. I had to, because it was leaking. Look at this. Look at this. Look how bad that's leaking right there. And it's leaking, okay, down towards the pump. It's leaking in like 3 spots. So, anyways, thanks to my Flash Speed 1000. Look at this bad boy going. That is pulling 300 watts right now. You can see it, maybe. We're pulling 300 watts. 95%. I could do that for 2.3 hours steady. This thing has a bunch of USBs, 4 of them here, a couple USB-C. This is all your input power here, your DC out, your AC in. Well, the best thing about this guy, I'm going to unplug it here. When you plug this thing into an AC wall outlet, it charges at 700 watts. Where it's an 828 watt hour battery in this, you can charge it in a little over an hour, plugging it in at home. Pretty impressive. In the top under here, a storage case. That's the actual cord to charge it. So plug it in the back again. Or it also came with, I'll show you guys later on, a 220 watt solar panel, which is a beautiful, beautiful solar panel. So we're going to probably hook it up tomorrow and test it. Anyway, the Vito Minute Flash Speed 1000. Quite a unit. We are now going to head out front. Actually, no, I'm going to put my pump together first. My cob together pump. I'm going to try here, see if this is going to work. So it's time for me to get my little pump geared up here. So what I've got is a garden hose. The pump is right here, as you guys can see. And what I need to do is, this will thread on here on the back of the tank, right? And then it's going to actually sit in the back off the other side. We're going to run the other part of the hose, because I had to cut this hose, and then we're going to put a hose nozzle on it. So this should work out pretty good. Check this out. Okay, so what I got to do is figure out approximately how much hose I want on it. So we're going to screw this on here. And what we did last week when we used it, we just sat watering cans in the back here and filled them, and it worked. I'm not going to lie and say it didn't, but this is going to work a whole lot better. So this is the inlet side. You can see there's an inlet arrow right here, and this is your outlet. These are an adapter. So again, there's no pressure switch on this now. I disabled the pressure switch. So what I'm going to have to do, but I did put a switch on it, and look at that, it's going to fit nice. I got hose clamps. So now what I need to do is I got a couple hose clamps, right? So we're going to put one on each side. So I'm going to stick one on here on the inlet. Well, that fits on just perfect too, right? So we're going to tighten this bad boy up. And all I'm going to do is the other side, the leftover part of the hose, and this will give us all kinds of distance on it, right? I mean, look, we have all this. So I'm going to take the cut off end, we're going to put it on the other side of the pump. My wonderful assistant chicken nugget over there. Anyways, so we're going to put this the other side, going to slide the hose clamp on. Put it right on here. That's the outlet side, right? There we go, she's hooked up. That tells me that under, normal use it's going to be about a 7.5 amp draw. You can see it right on here. Voltage, amperage. I don't know if you guys have focused or not, but you can see it right on there. 12 volt DC pump. I already hooked a wire to it, which is going to plug into our Flash Speed 1000 box of Wiedemann. And you can see here, I put a switch on it. This is just a manual. This is a kill switch off a chainsaw. You'd believe it. As long as it makes a contact, right? That's all we need. So I unhooked the pressure switch and I put a manual little rocker switch on it so I can turn this pump on or off without unplugging it out of the box. So let's get the box, plug it in. Let's try this thing. Give it a quick test before we go up front and make a fool of myself. All right. So now Cindy's got the nozzle here. We're going to test this, and we got, what, 25 feet of garden hose here. So the Wiedemann, we want AC off. We're going to turn on DC. So there we go. DC is lit up on this. That's how you turn your AC. We don't need the AC on. We're just going to go under DC. We still got 95%. And this is our 12 volt DC output. Going to take the wire. See how this does. Look at this. Ha 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 ha. Holy crap, Cindy. Look at that. How's that? Honest to God. Look at the friggin' water coming out of there. Man, we're going out front to water the garden. Nothing like a hillbilly friggin' fountain. Ha ha. Hillbilly water system. Well, guys, time for me to go out front. And we're going to water the garden. I hope I don't spill any on the way out. But she's full. So anyways, like I said, we brought a bunch. Look at these bad boys, pumpkins. How nice those are. And I made this row when he tilled it up here a couple weeks ago. I got a row all the way along here. We're going to grow pumpkin, squash, cucumbers, any vine plants like that. And we're going to try to train them this year and cut them off so they grow one pumpkin each. Cindy's been watching some stuff on TikTok and that, different things, and say you should cut your vine rate off and all that, and cut your runners off. And that way you can get one big pumpkin for vines. So I'm going to throw some pumpkins in here first before we water all this. So we should go along, probably sit them out here, right? How far apart? Like that? And these are compliments of Tasha, the neighbor. And I'll bring a little closer there, right there. Some of these are white, some of these are pink. Pretty cool looking pumpkins. Hopefully they're gonna... Cinderella. And Cinderella. Whatever Cinderella is. Here you go. Yeah, Chick of the Woods is Tasha, the next door neighbor. She's started up a channel, put a couple videos on them. She hasn't done much lately, so she needs to make more videos because she's kind of interesting what she's doing over there. The size of some of these too. They've only been up for about a week. And look at the roots in a week's time. These are healthy, healthy seeds. Gardening with Cindy. There we go, guys. Well, it is time. We get everything set up here. We are going to see how this works running this water systems. Let's see how the Wiedemann Flash Speed 1000 power box works with my little 12 volt Amazon pump and 55 gallons of water and chicken nugget on the hose. Let's give her a try here, guys. Oh wait, you need water. Wow, we drained this friggin' tank. Check this out, guys. Have a look down the side. 10 minutes time, probably. Thanks to my Vitomin Flash Speed 1000. Look at this bad boy. Hard to see, but that's still saying 92%. We're pulling 110 watts, and that's still 92% charged. 6.5 hours that would run at this rate. And the funny thing is, you know, if you restrict that pump too much, it was kicking out. It was drawing too much power. But it was going up 160 watts, and as soon as it did, it was kicking out. But running it like this, just with your finger on it, so there's not as much restriction on the pump, she'll pump all day long. So a win for Vitomin Flash Speed 1000. It is Saturday morning. I just got the lawn all mowed. How nice that looks, eh? Isn't that beautiful? This is what we get to sit and look at, looking at the front of the cabin all the time. So life is grand. I'm going to show you guys how low the brook is down here. This is freaking crazy. This is crazy low. Well, there's just no water here. Look how slow it's going. Virtually no current at all. It hasn't dried up yet, but there's not much water here. Sad, sad thing to see, but hard to believe it's June 1st. So I've never had it that dry, you know. That's the first of June. I've been here 8 years, and it's always, we don't normally get the water this low until about end of July, 1st August. Sorry about the shading, it's pretty dark out here. Nice to see the latest slippers are ready to come up. There's one right there, there's one over here, one over here. So they're actually going to be in full bloom here in the next week or two. And sitting out here, I have my Vitomin power station, the Flash Speed 1000. And what I did, this is the solar panel, actually a 220 watt panel come with this thing. And it's a beautiful, beautiful solar panel. It's like a rigid one that hinges, but it's a rigid panel. It's not putting anything out right now today because it's too overcast. We're getting no power output. I'm going to leave it sit out here for a while. It's supposed to be a 220 watt panel, so we'll see. But again, thoroughly impressed yesterday using that machine. We filled that, you know, ran the sump pump long enough to pump the water into that thing. Anyway, it's going to be a beautiful day here. And we've already got a lot of work done here this morning. Went around all the grapevines and put compost around all of them. This one here is a Concord, and look at it, just shooting crazy this year. This thing is taking right off and really going to grow. So all this new growth this year. Maybe if I'm lucky, we'll get some berries. Look at the shoots coming up on the top of the arbor. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful grapevines going to be. Stuff's looking good here in the front too. Peppers, onions, a couple little tomatoes. These are all climbing beans. Climbing beans are all coming up. Peppers are all doing well too. So everything looks pretty good along here. This is another grapevine over here. This guy, look at the color of that. Isn't that cool? They call that a Vanessa. Different, eh? And that's the name of that, Vanessa grapes. Is what that one is. And I have a Vanessa, I have a Concord on the arbor, and then on the corner of the cabin over here, that is a Bac Noir, they call it. That's a dark grape. That's what this guy is coming up. None of them have ever flowered and produced any fruit, but maybe this will be the year, right? What do you think, Chicken Nugget? She's standing there just watching. Chicken Nugget's having a good day. She's cold. It's not that warm today. You know what? When I get up this morning, I get up at 6:30, it was +2 over here. So that was a chilly friggin' night. But really, one last thing with the strawberries. Look how good these are doing this year. These have taken right off. Ken Chandler down there in Nova Scotia. I know you say you grew these before, Ken. What do you think of that? These guys are looking real good for the second year. And the crazy part is these all came out of one hanging strawberry pot we bought last year. One pot, broke it up, and we get that many strawberries, and they've already multiplied a lot. And when the runners start coming out, we're going to fill these beds real quick. So again, rambled pretty much enough for now, I guess. Had a good time here yesterday, had a good time last night. Got the garden watered, did a really good job in that, saturated it, and we're going to do it probably again later today. And it'll probably be done with the aid of Vitomin, my Flash Speed 1000. And if the sun actually comes out, the solar panel might actually top it back up too. But again, it's still 91%. So you got to admit, that was pretty good for the draw. That pump, that was a 10 or 12 amp draw on that. And plus filling it up with water in the first place. So anyways, I think we're going to shut this video down for now. You know, hanging with Chicken Nugget. We got to do a few more things around the yard here. So live simply, remain grateful, and we'll talk to you guys soon.